And there we are. We are live. Welcome back to the Supreme League of Patriots. I believe this will be the last episode. There's only 3 chapters. We've gotten every chapter done, the first 2 chapters done in 2 sessions. Probably get this one done in 2 sessions, and it'll be done. I don't think they're making any more. You know, I kind of wish they'd be milking it like they do with the Walking Dead games, but because I could definitely get more to that. So here's where we are.
Lemonade. There's nothing better on a hot New York summer's day than a cool, refreshing glass of lemonade.
I don't think that's lemonade.
What makes you say that?
I've never seen lemonade give off steam.
It's one of those money-grubbing pinkos that have taken over the bank.
Not to argue with you, but if these guys really are communists, why would they rob a bank?
Why wouldn't...
But the whole...
It's the bank security manager.
Judging by his age, the first time he failed to prevent a bank robbery, the culprits were the James gang.
So, let's just speak to him.
Time to give this white trash a piece of my mind.
May I respectfully suggest we try a different approach?
Give me one good reason.
Okay, well, leaving aside some niggling doubts over whether you can afford to spare a piece of your mind, he's carrying a submachine gun. I find that people carrying submachine guns tend to be less susceptible to verbal persuasion.
You may have a point, old friend. My grandpa carries one, and he's very resistant to verbal persuasion.
Your grandpa carries an SMG?
Have you ever tried getting one of them dang Jehovah's Witnesses off your doorstep?
He lives on the 3rd floor of an assisted living facility.
He's got a scope on it.
Dude, don't you think the perp might notice if you start chatting to the security manager right in front of him?
The perp is clearly wearing an over-the-ear headset, which blocks out all noise from the room. All he can hear is what's coming through the headset.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, mate. I guess I was a bit unfair on you there.
It's always the same with you, Melvin. You never credit me with any intelligence. You'd think I was some kind of dumbass to hear you go on. Like I'm going to go and blow the whole operation by doing something stupid.
For the life of me, I can't imagine whatever gave me that idea.
That's all right, old friend. We all make mistakes. You're the security manager, right? I'm here to help you. Tell me what's going on. This is no time to come over all shy, buddy. I need to know what's going on here.
You know how you can speak because the bad man with the gun is facing away from you?
We've been through this once, Melvin. I am well aware that I can speak without alerting the perpetrator to our presence.
Yeah, well he can't. If the aforementioned bad man with the gun sees the hostage kneeling in front of him start talking, it just might give him a clue that someone is standing behind him.
Right. I knew that. How many perps are there in total? Do you know?
I'm going to explain this one last time for the terminally slow of thought. The security manager cannot reply to you without giving away your presence and getting us both killed. Fortunately, he seems to have enough sense not to do that.
He doesn't have to speak, Melvin. He could simply indicate the answer by holding up the correct number of fingers.
And what is the bad man with the gun gonna think if his hostage starts waving around making hand gestures? That his bored hostage wants to play a few rounds of charades with his captor?
No need to be snarky.
I think you know me well enough by now to know that need is not the issue.
Feign a heart attack.
Pretend to have a heart attack.
What's that gonna achieve?
Maybe the perp will see him having a heart attack and have one himself.
We're talking about a heart attack, not a bloody yawn.
All right, I admit it. I don't know what'll happen. My instincts tell me that it's the kind of dramatic event which is bound to create panic and give us some kind of tactical advantage. Okay?
Fine.
Well,
Any more tactical advantages on that scale and this is gonna get too easy.
The old coot is so decrepit, the perp probably thought he was already dead.
pretend to need the toilet.
Tell your captor you need to use the bathroom.
He's indicating to that coffee pot over there. Ugh. I think the perp made him take a whiz in the coffee pot.
Well, tell him you need a dump this time. What's he looking at this time?
Let's just say when the bank staff get back to work tomorrow, they're going to be really surprised when they open the filing cabinet and look under S.
Ew. Ask him for a drink of water.
Yeah, because walking all the way over to the water cooler is going to tire him out so badly, you'll be able to overpower him.
Instead of just taking pot shots and being a smartass, why don't you come up with a better suggestion?
In a crisis, I believe everyone should do what they do best. Is it my fault that being a smartass is my most marketable skill?
And then use the whiteboard.
Violence time!
Wait,
What is it, faithful accomplice?
You actually waited.
you can't just start hitting people.
Again with the anti-violence speeches? I'm a superhero! I have to hit people. It's the law.
No, I don't mind you hitting people, but if you want to be taken seriously as an action hero, you need a wisecrack to go with it.
Say what?
Yeah, like, if Bruce Willis hit someone with a giant cigarette, he'd say something like, "Guess you should have read the Surgeon General's warning, pal."
I don't get it.
The health warnings on packs of cigarettes?
Where would Bruce Willis find a giant cigarette?
That's really not...
And wouldn't a giant cigarette be too soft and bendy to hit anyone with? You couldn't do any damage at all with that.
Yeah, but see...
Surely an iron bar or even a piece of wood would make much better weapons. And Bruce Willis is an experienced action hero, so he would know this stuff.
I really think you're missing the...
No, old friend. I'm afraid this whole plan sounds shoddy and ill thought out to me. You haven't given nearly enough thought to the practical limitations of giant tobacco products as weapons.
Right. Sorry.
See if you can get your head around these deals.
Excellent work. You've incapacitated him and severely damaged his chances of having children.
Not bad for a first takedown, huh?
Yeah, now if you key his car on the way out, you'll have really hit the hat trick.
Where would the modern office be without a water cooler?
Yeah, it was much harder to spread hepatitis C when we had to use a tap.
Take it easy, Gramps. We're here to rescue you.
Rescue me? I don't need rescuing, you young hoodlum. I already had a plan in place to take these piece of crap Rooskies down. Any moment I was about to spring into action.
Pops, I'm having a hard time believing you could spring into anything more energetic than a coma. There's an army of trigger-happy cops outside the bank just itching to get a shot at these scuzzballs. We didn't have time to wait for you to get your second wind.
You wouldn't have dared say that to me 10 years ago.
Maybe not. Although it's not hard to believe you've been sitting here that long. Okay, old-timer. Fill us in. What's going on down here?
It's a goddamn robbery. What are you, some kind of idiot?
Well, that's the introductions out of the way. Now, what can you tell us about the robbers?
They're nearly as dumb as your pal here wearing a pair of curtains. They've been in here for hours, but they haven't managed to steal a damn thing. I don't even know that they've found the vault, let alone opened it. Just a matter of time until they give themselves up, if you ask me.
How many of those barmy Bolsheviks are in here?
4. 3, if you don't count the one you just emasculated.
The NYPD thought there might be more. Are you sure you didn't just forget about some of them, you senile old fool?
I'm telling you, there was only ever 4 of them. 2 more got back into the van with the driver and drove off right after they got here.
Why the hell would you bring 7 men to rob a bank and then have 3 of them drive off again without stealing anything?
They probably overestimated the resistance they would meet. When they saw Methuselah here, they probably figured they could send half the team home early.
You've had a hard day today, mate.
Don't you start. Just because the hair's a little grayer and the skin's got a few wrinkles don't mean I'm some useless over-the-hill cream puff. I could still take the pair of you on, with both hands tied behind my back.
I know. You're as fearsome as a man half your age.
What do you figure half his age comes to? 70?
I'm just saying this would be a stressful day for anyone, at any age. Is there something we can do for you?
Yeah, can we give you a lift to a retirement home or something?
I'm going nowhere. I swore an oath to protect this bank from the scum of the earth.
If only you'd been here during the subprime mortgage crisis. Hang tight, mate. We'll be back.
Yeah, try not to die or anything.
This is going to be tricky. 2 villains to take out. If you take one out, you're guaranteed to be shot by the other.
Their bullets cannot harm me. Do I have wings?
No?
There goes that plan then. So I need to be careful and take both of these thugs down at once?
Yeah, don't take any unnecessary risks.
I risk my life every night in this city.
Yeah, fighting crime on the streets of Manhattan.
No, eating those chicken nuggets from Greasy Bob's. I mean, do chickens even have nuggets? Another geek? Even criminal gangs have them now.
Just you wait. One day America will be a technocracy.
It will if we don't do something to stop all these immigrants coming into the country.
A technocracy is where the country's ruled by the intelligent. Scholars like scientists, engineers, and computer experts wield the power.
What kind of government do we have now?
Well, if you ask me, I'd say it's pretty much a plutocracy.
So that's why Republicans keep saying we have a Mickey Mouse president. Maybe I can reason with this guy. He's probably not a fighter.
Do you even speak Russian?
I know enough to get by on vacation. I spent a couple of weeks in Moscow during my first gap year.
What does that mean in practice?
It means I know 3 phrases. Which way to the cockfight, and I've just drunk a pint of vodka. Please call an ambulance. I don't think the third one would be any use here.
If you'll forgive me saying so, I don't think reasoning with him is within your vocabulary. Henry Kissinger, you ain't. What was the third phrase, by the way?
Do you take it up the escape hatch?
I take it back. Henry Kissinger, you are. He appears to be playing five-finger fillet, where you demonstrate your lack of intelligence by stabbing a knife in the gaps between your fingers.
Remember when we got drunk on that damson brandy and played five-finger fillet?
Yeah, that was a good night. I remember you were hitting on that nurse, but she wasn't having any of it.
Yeah, I miss our trips to the emergency room.
And what happens if I try and talk to him? Same thing.
I might be able to talk to this guy. He's clearly a man of action and courage, and will realize that we share these qualities.
I don't think you want to try to negotiate with this fella. He's evidently got the IQ of a toothbrush.
That's such a typically lefty liberal attitude. Just because someone shows some courage and a willingness to take direct action, you automatically assume that he's brain dead.
Not at all. The reason I think he's stupid is that he's the first person I've ever seen play five-finger fillet by making a fist.
Perhaps I won't try to negotiate with him after all. Ceiling fans are cool! We should get one for the apartment.
We had one. It broke that night you stuck razor blades to it and tried to use it as a makeshift food processor.
In retrospect, it was an ill-conceived plan.
Surprisingly, it was actually working pretty well until you went a step too far and tried to slice a bunch of anchovies in it, with disastrous consequences.
Yeah. I still miss that cat.
Oh.
I don't think I should be playing with it until it's been switched off.
If only you felt the same way about the rotary drill.
That door must lead to the bathroom.
According to the schematics, it leads to the vault.
That's probably just a nickname for the bathroom.
Typically in banks, it's the nickname for the place they keep all the money. Do you need the bathroom?
Not anymore. It's a standard PowerPoint.
Standard my arse.
Perhaps in Britain you have power sockets which wear bowler hats and make you tea and scones. In America, that's a standard PowerPoint. Whenever I see an open PowerPoint, I can hear a voice in my head telling me to play with it. I think it might be my dark passenger.
I think it might be all those sherbet straws you eat.
Also possible. I don't need to go anymore.
How many times must I say this? It's not the bathroom, it's the vault. It's the switch which operates the ceiling fan.
It has 3 speed settings: low, medium, and mind your head.
Alright, so we have one thing that I think can plug into this. Oh yeah.
It is a bit nippy in here.
Some good old gamma rays should get us all nice and toasty in no time.
Breaker's gone.
Yeah.
Gonna fix it?
No.
I'm going to turn the ceiling fan off.
Why?
I need it off so that I can create some kind of elaborate man trap with it.
Well, we did things a little out of order.
You're making this up as you go along, aren't you?
All the best plans need a little spontaneity in order to keep them flexible, my friend. And so does mine.
Fine, I'll fix it myself. Lazy asshole.
Suit yourself.
Bungee cord.
With the fan shut off, I can begin to set up my trap now.
I admire your chutzpah, but if you march in there and start setting up a trap while the geezer with the laptop is facing you, you're going to end up with more holes than a Jeffrey Archer plot.
With the lights out again, I could get away with it.
The room doesn't get dark enough for you to go right in there. There's enough light creeping under those blinds to spot you every time. No, mate, somehow you're going to have to get that guy with the laptop facing the other way.
I think I'll turn the fan back on.
You haven't set up your fiendish man trap yet.
No, but it's getting a bit warm in here.
Stop time wasting and finish up the man trap.
I hope this works again.
I'll just hope all my hair doesn't fall out in the morning.
American electricians must be idiots.
All Americans idiots.
Nothing.
Laptop works on battery. Open blinds.
Now there's too much light on screen.
Perfect.
Just so long as Sam doesn't send you the bill for rewiring the entire bank.
Time for me to swing into action.
What are you going to do with that?
Hook it around the ceiling fan.
Now what?
I haven't quite decided. It's looking dangerous already, though, right?
Oh yeah, I could definitely see you hanging yourself with it, getting your foot hooked in it, or getting it all wrapped around you.
I mean dangerous for other people.
I hadn't really thought that far, to be honest.
Let's see.
How do you make a Venetian blind?
That's a Roman blind, but do go on.
No. No, it just doesn't work anymore. I think I'll turn the fan back on.
You haven't set...
Okay.
It's my trap.
It has all the hallmarks of one of your creations.
Thank you.
Interesting that you chose to perceive that as a compliment.
I...
You really won't be satisfied until one of us has 2 heads or 6 buttocks, will you?
I guess I really don't need to plug this in again. I think it might have died after that last attempt anyway.
Thank you, really.
Imagine having 6 buttocks, though. That'd be messy.
Maybe, but you haven't been mooned until you've had a 6 buttock moon.
So, what did you think of my first wisecrack? Pretty good, right?
Not bad.
Not bad. It was awesome.
I mean, I like the whole get your head around part, but it kind of falls apart if the audience didn't notice that there were a bunch of banking deals written up on that whiteboard.
So I need to improve?
Perhaps next time you could come up with a short list of 3 possibilities and then pick your favourite one.
Sounds good. I'll do that. I need help. I've got the elastic rope tied onto the fan, but I don't know what to attach to the rope. Razor blades? Dumbbells?
People?
Old friend. Attaching people to an elastic cord attached to a powerful fan in a closed space is disproportionate and completely reckless. I love it! On second... Another...
Oh, I have the cord in my inventory. Duh.
All I have to do is hook this up to both perps and kablamo!
I still think an easier plan would have been to plug the space heater in near them and wait for body parts to drop off.
I must be some kind of tactical genius. Like that, oh, what's his name? The guy with the elephants.
Hannibal?
Yeah, he loved it when a plan came together. This is gonna be brilliant!
I've no idea what's going to happen, but I must admit I'm looking forward to the spectacle of it, if nothing else.
You should record this on your mobile. It could go viral on YouTube.
Okay, but it'll have to go some way to beat that video of you naked singing Boyfriend.
You promised you deleted that.
And you believed me, which technically makes you my enabler.
Alright.
It's time to spring my trap, old friend.
In that case, I don't suppose you'd care to inform me what exactly your plan is, would you?
Couldn't we just see what happens and say that's what I intended?
We do that every time you make dinner. Let's try declaring our intentions up front just this once.
Okay, so the villains are tied to the fan. We turn the fan back on and they spin around with it. The bungee cord gets looped around the fan blades, dragging them closer together until their heads bang into each other, knocking them out. Go on then, get your criticism over with.
No, I don't have anything negative to say about it.
Really?
Honestly, it's practical, it's feasible, there's a remote chance it might actually work. It's easily the best plan you've ever had.
Thank you, old chum. I appreciate your faith in me.
Meeting of the minds, bring some head banging. Oh, I can't say. I really hope this is not like a freaking achievement thing right here.
I'm a people person. I just love bringing people closer together.
Really? 3 options and that's the best you could come up with? You were doing better when you only had 1 option.
You don't know what's going on.
That went well.
Shut up. They're incapacitated, aren't they?
If by incapacitated you mean dead, then almost certainly, yeah.
It's times like this I'm really glad you persuaded me to sign up for that superhero manslaughter liability insurance.
That paid for itself the first time you backed the Patriot mobile into a parking attendant.
Let's go to the vault.
Where do you have your current account, old friend?
I've got an account at Wilson Chase, but I don't keep any money there. I withdraw it all as soon as I get paid. I prefer to keep my money with me at all times, so I know what's happening to it.
Isn't that dangerous? I know you have a brave, burly protector with superpowers, but what happens if you go for a walk around the neighborhood on your own late at night?
If I have to choose between a bank executive and a big man with a knife, mate, I'd rather be mugged by someone who actually needs my money.
It's another one of those Bolsheviks. This close to the vault, he's probably the ringleader.
In that outfit, should you really be calling anyone a ringleader?
He seems pretty intent on whatever he's doing with that radio.
He might be communicating with someone outside the bank.
Or trying to get the Howard Stern show. It's hard as hell trying to get the right channel on those satellite radios. If I alert him to our presence, we'll have lost our advantage.
We have an advantage? Why was I not informed about this sooner?
The element of surprise is on our side, old chum.
Oh, that.
What's wrong?
The element of surprise is what people claim to have when they don't really have an advantage. No one ever won a boxing match with the art of surprise.
You say that, but what about the great Manuel Lightfoot Ortega?
I'm not sure that fighting the entire 12-round match with your shorts round your ankles qualifies as surprise. That's more in the category of mental illness, wouldn't you say?
Behind that door lies temptation itself. Whether he admits it or not, there isn't a man alive who wouldn't give up everything he has for what's behind that door.
Kyra Sedgwick naked, smeared in peanut butter. Did I say that out loud? That's a strange place to put a coffee machine.
How so, old friend?
Down in the vault where staff can use it, but customers can't. If anyone's nerves need calming, it's the poor buggers whose money's in the bank.
Well, besides talking to Melvin, the only thing left to do is to use this.
Opening that door would be like opening Pandora's box.
I liked Pandora. Why did you stop dating her again?
She wouldn't let me have the key.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Alright, let's talk to Mel.
I'm trying to come up with a plan for taking down the last villain.
Forget about plans. What you really need is a good wisecrack.
Who cares about wisecracks?
You should. This is America, mate. In this country, anything which can't be reduced to a pithy catchphrase or slogan gets forgotten. If you want to be remembered as a superhero, you need to start throwing out some memorable wisecracks.
I thought my wisecracks had been good.
The first one was a bit ropey, but that last one was dreadful. 3 options and you picked the worst one. And then your takedown didn't even match the wisecrack. Sorry mate, but you need to up your game if you want people to take you seriously as a superhero.
This last guy looks dangerous, and there are no handy environmental features to make use of.
That's bloody inconsiderate of him not to stand next to an open manhole or some kind of wood chipping machine.
I know, right? What can I do?
I think you should perfect your wisecracks.
Again with the wisecracks. You've got a bit of an action flick obsession going on here, huh?
If you have a better idea. If you have any idea. Well then.
On second...
Alright. We're just gonna... We have the screwdriver. Can we shank him?
Where... Okay, let's talk about improving my wisecracks.
Anything I can do to help, mate?
Let's practice wisecracks. You give me a setup, I'll make a wisecrack.
Yeah, alright then. You distract your enemy by passing him your smartphone and saying it's for him. As he takes the phone, you smash it into his face. You say,
Bet you haven't got an app for this, pal. Let's practice more wisecracks.
again?
Come on, old friend. I need the practice.
Alright. You're chasing a guy through a supermarket and you catch up with him in the fruit and veg aisle. You grab the spikiest pineapple you can find and jam it right up his nose as you call out,
How's this for one of your 5-a-day? I could still use more wisecrack practice, loyal companion.
I swear I'm doing more of the work here than you are.
Please!
Alright, last one. You're chasing a guy through a theme park.
I love it already. Very Beverly Hills Cop 3.
As you get to the fast food stands, he grabs a massive plastic hot dog from one of the stands and prepares to attack you. To defend yourself, you grab a massive plastic ice cream cone.
I hit him in the crotch and say, I like crushed nuts with mine. I can think of plenty of wisecracks, but I can't think of a good one for a situation like this.
Yeah, okay. I've got one for you. You say,
No. Whisper it. It'll lose its impact if you say it out loud first.
Dude, you're the only other person here.
I know, but I'll lose all confidence in myself if you say it out loud.
Alright, fine.
Bum?
No, not bum. See, this is what you get for whispering. You can't bloody hear me.
No, I'm fine, really. Keep going. Why would I kiss that? Oh, okay. Not kiss it.
This is a very long wisecrack.
Old chum, that is one of the finest wisecracks I've ever heard, and it's perfect for this situation.
Thanks, mate. Nice to be appreciated. Now you just need a plan to take him down.
No, I don't. With a wisecrack this good, I don't need a plan. With a wisecrack this good, he'll just surrender.
I don't know about that.
Trust me, old friend. If there's one thing I know, it's people.
I don't know. That's a pretty big if.
Stick around, old friend. It's time for my big solo, Mel.
Break a leg?
That's a horrible thing to say.
No, it's not. It's what actors tell each other to wish them good luck.
Gee, what do they do if they really like someone? Wish each other an SED?
Just go on.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. Ooh, raspberry.
That was unexpected.
Damn, I'm good.
Yippee-ki-yay.
You don't seem very intimidated.
I am sorry. I do not mean to offend you, but I am actually very busy.
I told you we should have called ahead.
I'm, not really sure how to put this, but...
Please, come to the point.
Well, now that you've put your gun down, I'd, like you to come with me. I'm going to place you under arrest.
I put my gun down to stop your trigger-happy detectives from shooting me.
Oh, you've met Sam then?
However, I regret that I cannot come with you. I really have to get this radio working quite urgently. Now, if you will excuse me.
Doesn't he have super strength?
Be absolutely candid, old friend. I'm rather disconcerted by the perp's relaxed attitude to being caught and apparent lack of fear of any consequences.
Yeah, you're a bit like a dog that's caught a cat and's buggered if he can remember what he was chasing it for.
Okay, I give up. What are you doing with that radio? Can't find any station that's not playing Justin Bieber, huh?
It is not a commercial radio. It is a Soviet long-range two-way radio system.
Run out of international roaming minutes on your standard tariff, have you? You can borrow my Zipsung smartphone if you like. It's been banned in 7 major countries.
It has military-grade encryption. Your pathetic mobile phones are about as secure as opening your window and shouting down the street.
Also, the range is very similar.
So why aren't you talking to anyone with it?
I cannot get the signal. Something locally must be interfering with it, and I'm trying to amplify the signal to counter it.
It's probably that Ukrainian space heater sending out X-rays, gamma rays, microwaves, and just about every other wave or ray known to mankind.
Will you shut up about the damn space heater? Forget the damn radio, Pinko! You're coming with me! I'll use force if I have to.
3 of my colleagues have placed explosives around the street outside. If you make any attempt to remove me from this building against my will, they will detonate them. I imagine many of your police colleagues will be killed in the explosion.
So that's where those 3 other guys got to. We probably should have looked into that sooner.
No point admonishing ourselves for past failures, loyal companion. We need to focus on the here and now. What is it you want, you borscht-supping enemy of freedom?
My demands are quite reasonable. I merely wish to remain here and listen to this radio. As I mentioned before, something is interfering with the signal. I need you to find out what it is and disable it.
Oh crap, I just realized that's Colonel Zerkoff, the guy he was talking about
Looks
earlier.
been standing too close to the mustard gas, old friend. Simply appeasing him may be our best way of solving this drama.
As a strong supporter of non-violence, particularly from a recipient point of view, that works for me, mate. Let's clear the airwaves and let him get back to listening to Bill O'Reilly.
I doubt that, old chum. He's a communist.
Really? I'd have said fascist, but you listen to his show more than I do.
Stay put. That door must be made of several feet of solid steel, and it's locked with numerous huge steel bolts, all connected to a complex computer security system. I couldn't possibly open it manually.
Yeah, you have to ask me to open jars of beetroot.
You only opened that because I weakened it.
Well, let's speak to Mel.
You're a sad nerd, right?
I can always tell when you want something because you start buttering me up.
What do you know about radio signals and interference?
Despite persistent rumours in the neighbourhood, I know nothing about interference. I do know quite a bit about radio signals, though.
So what could be interfering with the Russians' radio?
Maybe you just can't hear anything over your trousers.
You think I should take them off?
Let's not do anything rash. I have a radio wave detector back at the apartment. If we grab that, I might be able to figure out where the interference is coming from.
Stick around.
Alright. Back to the apartment. I wonder if this is something I could have picked up earlier.
I can't.
If there's a... I don't think...
And
What's wrong?
I. I'm not. That urn contains the ashes of Melvin's grandfather.
No, it doesn't. It's where I keep my high-tech gadgets that I don't want you yutzing about with.
Then what happened to your grandfather's ashes?
We scattered them all over Times Square.
Ah, yes. In hindsight, we should never have taken that urn on the Ferris wheel on a windy day. Isn't this where you keep your high-tech gadgets that I'm not supposed to touch?
Yeah, I always try to keep them someplace you'll never go. I used to keep them in the dust collector of the vacuum cleaner, but then I caught you using the vacuum cleaner for personal gratification.
It doesn't nag, it doesn't complain if I drop dirty clothes all over the house, it doesn't tie up the phone all day, and it never uses my credit card. It's the best relationship I've ever had.
Charming. Do you want me to get my radio wave detector or not?
Oh yes, if you would, old chum. So, now we can detect radio waves, right?
Indeed. Just make sure to keep it away from that space heater or it'll explode.
Wonder if I could have... That's like one of those things that's kind of a harder thing to find, definitely. I'm glad I kind of just found that. Brute force.
Tell me everything about the situation.
What do you want to know? Our wit.
He
Wasn't sure if we could,
Wait.
wasn't sure if I could, like, update her on the situation. Oops, maybe I should have used the interference thing there. Oop. Oop.
This device belongs to my colleague, and, as with all items of which I have little or no understanding, it holds a morbid fascination.
So that's why you take so long in the shower.
This... This... I have no idea where the radio waves are coming from.
You don't need to guess. That's why we went back to the apartment for my detector. Just use the detector on anything which remotely looks like it might emit radio waves.
Alright. Anything that remotely looks like it might use radio waves.
It has all the hallmarks. Interesting that you chose to...
How- What? How are you doing?
Don't you old-timer me. Just give me another minute or two to get my breath, and I'll come with you to kick some ass.
Now, we can all play our part in this rescue, but we each need to tackle the tasks we're best suited to. You just lie there and try not to let rigor mortis set in. Yeah.
Well, the only thing I can think of nearby that might be interfering would be the police car.
Hey Mel, could you run your radio wave detector over the squad car?
It's just a car, mate. I mean, it's got a radio, but holy crap!
What's wrong, old friend?
This thing's giving off more mixed signals than an epileptic semaphore operator.
How is that possible?
It must be because there are so many squad cars in the vicinity. All the radios are sending signals back and forth to each other, and it's causing a VHF meltdown over here.
Alright, well, we gotta talk to Sam, tell her the situation.
Lieutenant, could you have all of your officers in the vicinity turn off their radios?
You mean ask every unit on the scene to switch off all communication and leave themselves completely dark while a major criminal flashpoint is underway? Oh, of course, no problem.
Thanks, Lieutenant. You've been a big help.
No, mate, she's not actually gonna do it. She's being sarcastic.
You know, you guys have a really annoying bad habit there.
We don't do it just to annoy you, you know. That's the main reason, certainly, but there are others.
Lieutenant, it's imperative that you shut down all of the radios in your squad cars.
Why would I even contemplate doing something so utterly reckless?
The big cheese of the Ruskies is ready to surrender. We just need to get all of the radio waves in the area switched off first.
Are you really as stupid as you appear? It's probably a trap. As soon as we switch off the radios, they go into phase 2 of their plan and we're running on 3 wheels. Forget it. Nothing you can say would persuade me.
Not even if I begged?
Not even if the mayor himself ordered me to do it. Well, maybe if the mayor ordered me, but that pencil pusher is too busy worrying about re-election to actually do anything.
Uh-oh. Well, let's talk to Mel.
Lieutenant Griffith won't play ball, old friend.
I've told you, you're not her type.
Not that frivolous assistant. She won't turn off the police radios.
You'll have to go over her head, mate. See if your new City Hall contact can help you out.
Really? I have to go back, cap in hand, to that tutu-wearing terror?
You knew there would be sacrifices?
On second thought...
I kind of figured, but, you know, this game makes talk to Mel all the time, so...
I guess with a high-powered local government job like this, you must rub shoulders with all sorts of people. Why, I bet you even have the mayor on speed dial.
Oh, perps, you old flatterer, you. I'm way, way down the chain of command. The coffee boy only talks to me if he needs something.
So you don't know the mayor? Damn.
I didn't say that. I said I didn't know him through working here. I've known the mayor for years. He used to frequent an entertainment establishment where I was a regular.
I'm guessing Mrs. Mayor wasn't with him at the time?
With him? She was working there.
I really need a favor. I need you to put a good word in for me with the mayor.
No need, perps. If you want a membership of our special club, I can make that happen for you.
Not that, you debauched dingbat! I want the mayor to order all police cars in the vicinity of Wilson Chase Bank to switch their radios off.
I could probably arrange that, perps. The mayor owes me one after he...
La 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 la, I can't hear you! I don't want to hear about your disgusting exploits with perverted politicians.
I was going to say, after he lost all that money to me at poker, he still owes me a lot of money, perps. So yeah, I could get him to do that. But why should I? The only thing you've done for me is get me arrested.
Look, I need you to call in that favor with the mayor. I need it badly.
How badly?
I'll do anything you want.
Ah! I left my camcorder at the apartment. I'll have to make do with my mobile.
Okay, I want my record expunged.
Oh, God, no! What kind of foul practice is this? I've never expunged another man in my life. How will I ever cope with the shame?
Mate, all he wants you to do is get him a pardon for the crimes you framed him for.
That's all? Sweet baby. Jesus, that's a relief. But, oh, why don't you just ask the mayor if he owes you so much money?
He couldn't do anything that direct. If people found out where he met his wife, well, let's just say he wouldn't be reelected next month.
What do you think, Mel? Should we get him pardoned?
Well, you did set him up and have him arrested on charges you knew were bogus. Technically, I reckon you owe him a pardon without getting anything in return.
You're absolutely right. By generously allowing him to feel as though he's doing me a favor in return, I'm really going above and beyond the call of duty.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I have to go.
Well, let's talk to Mel about it.
How am I supposed to get a pardon for that ambisextrous loon from City Hall?
Ask Sam.
Lieutenant Griffith thinks the death penalty is too lenient, as it leaves open the possibility of reincarnation. Can you imagine her releasing a known felon?
She might if you admitted you set him up.
Now, let's not do anything hasty which might get my ass thrown in jail.
Yeah, your ass wouldn't do well in jail. Well, it might do rather too well in those tights, but you know what I mean.
So you see my dilemma?
Yeah, what you really need is some fresh-faced journalist who's dying for a scoop to make their name in news.
I don't understand, old friend. How would that help us?
It's election year, mate. The mayor would have to do something if there was a news story about an injustice. Even Sam wouldn't dare refuse the mayor.
On second...
Alright. So I'm pretty sure I gotta talk to Carmelita Fox. We'll talk to her about the pardon anyways, if we can.
Lieutenant, do you remember that freak of nature I arrested for assaulting Nurse Julie?
Of course I do. We have that barbarian locked up where he belongs, except when he does his community service.
Any chance you could release him?
None at all. That dirtbag and all of his type belong in prison.
By all of his type, you mean?
Don't get on your politically correct high horse again, Melvin. By his type, I mean men who assault women.
He stands up for gay men so often? I've been keeping my back to the wall whenever I'm wearing lycra.
Trust me, mate, the sight of your ass in lycra is only ever gonna turn stomachs, not heads. There's more chance of Andrew Dice Clay getting a recurring role on Glee than you becoming a gay icon.
Lieutenant, it's of vital importance that you release the flamboyant superhero as soon as possible.
But Purple Patriot, it was you who arrested him. So you know he's guilty.
That's true, but I've uncovered some evidence which suggests it may have been an imposter.
But he was never out of your sight. If the imposter committed the crime, it's the imposter we arrested.
He was briefly out of your sight, wasn't he? I mean, you couldn't see his face when you were flashing his head down the loo.
Not helping, old friend.
I'm sorry, Purple Patriot. Unless you have some compelling evidence of the flamboyant superhero's innocence, he's staying in jail.
Well, we talked to her. Let's go here. We'll give her the Consuela. Oh well, Carmelita Fox from Sly Cooper. A different voice actor every single game. Voice actress.
What do you know about radio waves?
Nothing. I'm strictly a television girl. Does this face look like a face for radio to you?
Yes.
It looks like a face which should be kept away from open flames to me.
Hey, I have not had any work done. I wouldn't let a plastic surgeon touch me.
Frigid, huh? I know the type.
I just bet you do. I can picture a lot of women becoming frigid around you.
Have you heard of the flamboyant superhero?
He was arrested for assaulting a nurse. Isn't he in jail?
He is, but I happen to know that he was framed.
Really? How do you know this?
We're the ones what framed him.
I knew it! I knew you would turn out to be corrupt! Tonight on Channel 8 News, New York's fallen hero, the Purple Patriot, guilty of framing a rival.
Dial it back there, Lois Payne. We, didn't know he was innocent when we arrested him.
There was a lot of circumstantial evidence.
Such as?
Well, he looked guilty. That's usually a good sign, right? Look, we need you to run one of those stories you reporters do about people who have been wrongly convicted.
After everything you've done to me, why would I help you?
To get that sense of smug self-satisfaction that drives all you media types?
I'm perfectly capable of feeling smug self-satisfaction without helping you two degenerates.
Listen, you scandal-peddling sensationalist! Aren't you reporters supposed to be interested in the truth?
I'm interested in whatever it takes to get me in the anchorwoman chair for Channel 8 and gets that cheap tramp Mindy Mitchin out on her ear.
Imagine how formidable women in the workplace would be if they could ever stop clawing each other's eyes out for being sluts.
Wait, so, all you really want is a big story to raise your profile? I've got the story you need! Blowing the lid off a miscarriage of justice will make you the toast of the town.
Please, have you ever watched Channel 8? All they care about is tawdry sex scandals, pedophiles, and stopping immigrants from getting into America.
Well, the story of the flamboyant superhero's innocence will be right up your alley then. You see, he has an alibi for the time of the crime, and boy, it's a doozy of an alibi.
Okay, I'll bite. What's the story? I would.
Hold on, we're hitting the same button. Just in case, I need to always be ready.
At the time he was supposedly attacking the nurse, the flamboyant superhero was actually helping catch Cubans being smuggled into Florida.
No, Channel 8 wouldn't be interested in a story like that.
I should think not. It's a disgrace. Some of those Cubans are living in terrible circumstances and don't deserve to be vilified. Not to mention that many of them are robbed and beaten and treated despicably by the smugglers. Good on Channel 8 for taking a stand.
Well, it's just that they're more focused on the border with Mexico. We've been running a story all week about what would happen if the border fence was electrified. Our do-it-yourself experts showed viewers how to build their own electric fence with just 23 car batteries and a roll of wire fencing.
So...
Not interested.
It turns out that the flamboyant superhero couldn't have attacked that nurse after all. He was outside the hospital protesting against abortion!
Sorry, but Channel 8 already has a reporter undercover with a bunch of abortion protesters. Tomorrow, she's going to firebomb Angela Lansbury's house.
Angela Lansbury's never had an abortion, has she?
I don't think so, but she's less likely to have a gun than Chelsea Handler.
So...
Not interested.
When the nurse was attacked, I happened to know that the flamboyant superhero was taking part in an orgy. You know how promiscuous gay men are.
Mate, you can't say that. That's a myth that the right-wing media perpetuates in order to encourage prejudice against the LGBT community.
I've tried everything else, old friend. If that fop with his painted-on mustache wants a pardon, he'll have to put up with a bit of scandal.
But we haven't got any evidence.
Oh, that's fine. Most of our stories are little more than hearsay and tittle-tattle. Channel 8 likes those stories.
It's not even true.
Can he afford to sue?
I doubt it. He's in prison, so I don't suppose he's got much money.
Perfect.
So...
We have a deal. I'll report the story as soon as you get out of here.
Can't we stay and watch?
Absolutely not. The last thing I want to do is give you any extra publicity. I'm only running this story because it suits my end.
And a very fine end it is too, may I say.
Alright, back to the bank. Oh, no, wait. City Hall.
I have.
No, wait, I do have to go to the bank. Out of order. It was right the first time. We gotta talk to Sam, then talk to him.
Have you seen the news? Apparently, there's a story about the flamboyant superhero.
Yes, I've seen it, and I know this is your handiwork, Purple Patriot.
Well done, mate. You've achieved your life's ambition.
I have. What's that?
To be accused of being the brains behind something.
And don't think I haven't spotted your Machiavellian influence in this, Melvin.
I see myself as more of a Svengali than a Machiavelli, but all compliments gratefully accepted.
So you're going to pardon the flamboyant superhero, right? Right?
I don't appear to have much choice. The mayor's up for re-election and can't afford the bad publicity. Can you believe he actually threatened to have me sent back to traffic duty if I didn't sign off on it?
The only thing I'm struggling to believe is that you went along with it. I half expected to hear you told the mayor to get stuffed.
I almost did, but he's so desperate for votes he actually might sack me. Just make sure I don't regret letting this known felon back on the street, boys. If he causes any more trouble, I'll have both your asses.
And not in a good way, mate, before you ask.
We'll talk.
Okie doke.
Okay, Twinkle Toes. I got you your pardon. Lieutenant Griffith is dealing with the DA's office, but it's a done deal. Now make with the quid pro boner. I want those radios turned off quicker than when the Al Sharpton show starts.
Chillax, perps. I'll make the call.
God, I hate the word chillax. Who comes up with these stupid combined words anyway?
I don't know, some stunts.
I have. Lieutenant, I wonder if we could revisit the radio's discussion from earlier.
You've done it again, haven't you? You've gone over my head to the mayor and persuaded him to force my hand again.
Now, how do you know we had any involvement? For all you know, the mayor might have independently come up with that idea himself.
Oh, please. That pencil pusher hasn't had an original thought since the Carter administration. What did you do? Threaten to leak details of his campaign funding?
What are you complaining about anyway? You're always telling people to take more of an interest in politics.
I encourage people to vote, not blackmail politicians.
What about the radios?
Yes, I'm going to order all of the radios be switched off, but you'd better sleep with one eye open for a while.
Have you seen some of the women he takes home? There's a good reason he keeps the lights off and both eyes closed.
Delta Golf 17 to all cars, please turn off your radios immediately. We have a technical glitch in the system and need some downtime in order to troubleshoot it. Negative, Oscar Foxtrot 3. How can I radio everyone to tell them the problem has been fixed if you've all turned your radios off? And yours. All right, boys. The entire NYPD within 5 blocks is now in radio silence. I hope you know what you're doing. The lives of dozens of police officers are now in your hands. If anything goes wrong, every man and woman in the NYPD is going to have a bone to pick with you.
So very much like the time you crashed the Patriot mobile into Debbie's Donuts.
If they didn't put up such misleading signs, those sort of things wouldn't happen.
To be fair, most people seem to understand the intended message from a sign which says, drive through window.
Wait.
A little bit of back and forth walking because we can't just skip to the vault.
Excuse me. You should be able to tune your radio now. We asked Lieutenant Griffith to...
Shut down campus radio at DeVry.
No, she didn't.
Do you think it's a good idea to tell the leader of the heist that you've just switched off every police radio in the district?
Good thinking, perceptive companion. Lieutenant Griffith will have our balls in a vice if we screw this up now.
And the mayor has to pay extra for that at his special club.
Try tuning the radio again. It should work this time.
There is less interference, but the signal is still quite weak. Let me see if I can boost it anymore.
Cold War warrior calling Colonel Zurkov. You read me.
I read you, Commander.
Wait, what?
The Cold War warrior? What's going on here?
What is status of your mission?
My team has been taken into custody. I am about to close down the mission and allow myself to be arrested.
Damn straight! We won this battle like Americans always win conflicts.
Yeah, now give us your oil.
What about Fat Purple Ringmaster, an English nerd?
They are here as you predicted, Commander.
I'm getting that funny feeling again.
What feeling is that, old friend?
Like a 10-year-old who's just caught Gary Glitter smiling at him.
You know who this is, Purple Patriots?
Jamie Kennedy?
No, I'm not Jamie Kennedy. I am former KGB agent who was deported for helping you with fraudulent driver's license.
Could you be a little more specific? We've been framing a lot of innocent people lately in the name of justice.
Tell me, Purple Patriot, have you had busy day fighting my henchmen?
Not so busy that I couldn't take a break to kick your sorry ass, you pimple on humanity's butt.
Unfortunately, my ass is, how you say, inaccessible.
Yeah, I dated a few girls like that. But not for long.
I think he means he's a long way away.
Maybe not so far, but somewhere you will never reach. While you clowns were trying to prevent bank robbery, I was taking control of Ellis Island. You know what this means?
You're running tourist trips.
No, pathetic patriot. It means I have stockpile of missiles with biological warheads which could wipe out the entire eastern seaboard. If US government doesn't meet my demands, I will begin by launching missile strike on Newark.
Will the Cold War warrior wreak his revenge on the Purple Patriot? Has the Purple Patriot underestimated a dangerous foe? Why does everybody have it in for Newark? All will be
Oi, don't be a wanker, we're in the middle of something here.
But I have to set up the cliffhanger for the end of the issue.
We're not finished yet. We have to go to Ellis Island and stop the Cold War warrior from destroying several dozen metropolitan areas.
Of course, but that's in the next issue.
We're not dragging this out to a fourth issue just so some jumped-up narrator can make extra work for himself.
I hear that, old friend. I can't wait a whole month before I go and clobber that sociopathic Soviet.
But it's such a good dramatic point to stop. If we make the audience wait for the conclusion, they'll enjoy the finale all the more because of the anticipation.
Bollocks. There's some kind of corporate agenda here to make money and screw the audience, and I'm not having it.
Well said, radical roommate. Let's keep going.
Now bugger off before I forget me manners and put a boot up your ass.
I don't have to put up with being spoken to like this. I played Mercutio in the Rose Theatre's revival of Romeo and Juliet, you know.
Good. Then you'll know what it's like to cop an unfortunate one, won't you? Op it. Wait a minute, aren't we forgetting something?
Huh? Oh, we'll rough him up in the car.
No, I mean the gun. Shouldn't we take the gun before inviting the police in to arrest him?
Admirable forethought, faithful friend.
Purple Patriot, Consuela hasta luego for Channel 8 News. What can you tell our viewers about the heist at Wilson Chase Bank today?
Isn't there a shoe sale at Macy's you could be reporting on?
At shortly after 9 o'clock this morning, a group of armed men stormed the Wilson Chase Bank and took hostages. My sources tell me they made no attempt to steal anything or even gain access to the vault. Can you comment on the motives of the perpetrators?
They heard there was a 2-for-1 sale on $50 bills.
And they really like those little pens with the chains on them. You can never have enough of those.
Don't feign ignorance, Purple Patriot.
Trust me, love, he's not feigning.
The people of New York deserve to know what happened here today.
Your viewers only need to know 3 things, lady. Number 1, some no-good terrorist dirtballs took hostages. Number 2, I kicked their asses.
And number 3?
This afternoon on the Food Network, Ingrid Hoffman will be cooking lomo saltado. Now, get out of my way, you gossip-mongering rumor hag. The men have work to do.
Cut, Hank. Purple Patriot, you are chauvinistic, homophobic, and xenophobic. I am going to make it my life's work to get you busted back down to Boy Scout.
Ha! You just want to see me in short pants.
Well, let's talk to Sam.
Lieutenant, I'm pleased to inform you that the bank is no longer under the control of Russian reprobates.
Yep, you can send the greedy, corrupt bankers back in there where they can go back to screwing up the economy, helping each other make enormous profits at the expense of ordinary taxpayers, and asking the Federal Reserve for trillion-dollar bailouts. Is anyone else thinking it'd be cheaper to just let the robbers keep the bank next time?
I guess I owe you two an apology. I thought you'd gone off the deep end asking to release the flamboyant superhero and then having the mayor order me to switch our radios off. But you got the outcome everyone wanted here.
Are you going to tell her or shall I?
Tell me what? What have you done?
We've, only decided to let you take all of the credit for this arrest, Lieutenant. We're going to let you take the press conference and everything.
Well, that's very magnanimous of you, Purple Patriot.
Yeah, they broke the mold when they made me.
He was a very fat baby.
I'm sure the press will want to speak to you, though. You'll stay and talk to them, won't you?
Unfortunately, we have a prior engagement we really can't get out of.
Yeah, Kitty Claus is marrying the German Shepherd, and someone has to stop the in-laws chasing each other around the church.
I'm on pooper scooper duty. You think she bought that?
She buys you as a superhero. Clearly gullibility is a known character trait.
I guess we'll just go to the apartment.
How are we going to get to Ellis Island, old chum?
Well, we probably won't be able to get the ferry. A criminal mastermind will have thought of that. But you can fly, remember?
I know, but I get a bit wheezy going to the pizza place and back. If I had to carry you all the way to Ellis Island, I don't think I'd make it.
Well, ask the Bleeding Heart for help. She can fly.
Never! Females have no business being superheroes. Plus, she has that whole self-righteous, politically correct, judgmental thing going on.
That's a shame.
Why? Don't tell me you're holding a candle for that preachy do-gooder.
Not holding a candle, exactly. She waxes my wick a little bit, maybe. But no, I was just thinking that if she has to carry us over to Ellis Island, we'd be staring at her arse in skin-tight red lycra the whole way. But you're right, you shouldn't compromise on your political beliefs.
Now, maybe I've been a little hasty here. Perhaps I've let my personal beliefs cloud my judgment.
You? I can't believe that.
It's my duty to put the welfare of the American people before my personal grievances against some superpowered skirt. All right, let's have her meet us at True Believers.
I'll text her.
You have her phone number?
Yeah, she gave it to me. I say gave it to me. She only used the 256-bit RSA encryption key to protect her mobile. That's practically a come-on to a techie like me. Alright, she'll meet us there. Just remember to be on your best behaviour when we meet her. We need her help, remember?
Yeah, I'll be my usual charming self when we meet with that menstruating moonbat. Stick around, old friend.
I wonder what happens if I was at True Believers and did that.
No sign of the bleeding heart. I guess that serves us right for relying on a female superhero. They're all right until a major criminal operation goes down midway through Days of Our Lives.
Alright, mate, no need to get worked up. Let's just grab a table and wait for her.
Let's go talk to those two babes in the corner.
Did you leave your contact lenses on the bedside table again?
What? The brunette looks just like that girl from Jersey Shore.
She looks like a gorilla in a dress.
That's what I said. All right, you can have the pretty one.
That is the pretty one.
Alright, let's save here as well.
We don't have time to sit down, old... Oh. We don't... Oh.
Let's talk to Stan, I guess.
Hey boys, there's an ugly rumor going around.
Yeah? Well, introduce it to my colleague here. He'll most probably want to buy it a drink.
Word on the grapevine is the Cold War warrior has invaded Ellis Island and is preparing to launch missile strikes against half of the country.
Wait a minute. There are no missiles on Ellis Island.
Actually, mate, I'm pretty sure there are. Remember when Chimpera Caligupretzel was Commander-in-Chief?
Ah, yes. Halcyon days.
Well, apparently, his staff could never quite shake him from his fear that the Statue of Liberty was going to come to life and kill everyone in New York. They should never have let him watch Ghostbusters 2, if you ask me. Anyway, he insisted on keeping a stock of missiles on Ellis Island for the day when Lady Liberty awoke.
So the Cold War warrior is actually recycling our own missiles against us?
Oh yeah, it's a very cost-effective and environmentally friendly military campaign he's running.
Oh gosh.
How did you come to hear this story of the Cold War warrior invading Ellis Island anyway?
It's been all over the police radio this afternoon.
You've got a police scanner?
Of course. How else would I get advance notice when we're about to get raided? You know the funny thing about this attack on Ellis Island? Apparently, some dumbass superhero was tricked into helping Cold War warrior. He had all the police switch off their radios, so they couldn't hear about the attack when it started.
What a muppet.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that guy when word gets around. We're supposed to meet the Bleeding Heart here. Have you seen her?
She hasn't been in all day. Perhaps she's busy at her day job.
Do you know what her day job is? Do you know her secret identity?
Sorry, boys. And even if I did, I couldn't tell. It would violate bartender alcoholic privilege.
Do you think he knows?
Does a duck sleep on its back?
No.
Do what?
No, wait. Is Dolly Parton's ass watertight? Can I start again?
Please don't.
Please don't.
We're supposed.
I wish I knew who the
Thank
Bleeding Heart was.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh.
I couldn't get away from work.
This is why there aren't more female superheroes. When there's a major crime underway, they spend 45 minutes in a phone booth because they haven't got a thing to wear.
Whereas when you spend 45 minutes in a phone booth, it's just because your stomach is jammed in the door.
And when they do finally arrive, God help you if another superheroine is wearing the same costume. They'll forget about the criminals altogether and start clawing each other's eyes
Here's
out.
where the game gets cringy.
One thing they won't do is disable every police radio within a 5-block radius and allow a psychotic supervillain to steal a battery of biological weapons to use against innocent people.
Assuming that's true, and I'm not saying it is.
It is, though.
All right, it is true. But how did you hear about it?
I have my sources.
You're sleeping with the police commissioner.
I hate to interrupt when children are squabbling. I'll be over here when you're ready to go.
I need. Does the Bleeding Heart remind you of anyone?
Well, she does look a bit like Claudia Black, but I just assumed that was an issue of voice actor availability. What are you doing?
Looking for someone who looks like Nolan North. Normally, I find it pitiful to see a woman alone in a bar, but I'm sure you're used to it.
If that's the kind of line you use on women in bars, I'm not surprised you get blown out more times than a windsock.
Are you familiar with Ellis Island?
I know it was used by fascist politicians to lock up people whose only crime was being born in another country.
If a few more people who were born in other countries were locked up, maybe America would be a safer place.
So there's no truth to the rumors that the Patriot Cave was built almost exclusively by illegal immigrant labor?
None whatsoever. Paco and Esteban are as American as you or I. Have you met the Cold War warrior?
Of course. I was involved in getting him the work placement at City Hall.
Such benevolence. Why can't you be more like her?
I probably could if I had my testicles removed.
Would that force you to use your brain for thinking instead?
No, but it might give me the kind of terrible judgment that helps a communist terrorist get a job in City Hall, where he can plan attacks on America.
He wasn't planning anything until you bribed him and then stood by while he was arrested and deported.
You can't make heroes act like villains.
At least, not unless it leads to a really good crossover.
Shall we take off for Ellis Island? You're not getting any younger.
Whereas you are, but that's just your mental age.
Mate, I really think we should do something about the flamboyant superhero before we go anywhere. He's gonna be really pissed when he finds out you've implicated him in some sex scandal.
Ha! What's that lily-livered panty waist going to do? Hit me with his purse? Insult my fashion sense?
Too easy.
Look, I just think we should take the time to explain the situation to him. He might take it better if we explain that it was the only way we could get him off. If the first time he hears about it is on live TV, he might go off the deep end.
Forget about it. That fairy would be too worried he might chip a nail to do anything rash. Now let's get going. I'm going to put that communist maggot in jail for so long, when he gets out, he'll be dead.
I mean...
Boy, it feels good to be back on the ground again. Flying is for the birds, pun intended.
I don't know what you're complaining about. I'm the one who had to do all the work.
I know, and I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I was afraid I would slip off and fall. I couldn't get a good handhold anywhere.
Not for the want of trying.
While you were groping the flight attendant, I was digging up intel on our mission. I was using my mobile to find out what the Cold War warrior's demands are. He wants America to shut down all border control and immigration agencies. If the president doesn't go on television to announce the change in policy by 11:30 p.m., he'll launch the missiles.
Why 11:30?
Maybe he wants to catch Kimmel.
We'll hit another save.
Does the bleeding...
Now that you yeah, she sounds nothing.
Wait, I thought she was in the
Does the bleeding heart remind you of anyone?
Now that you mention it, she does. But it's probably just a coincidence.
You really think so?
Yeah, she sounds nothing like Nolan North.
I suppose I should thank you for the ride out here.
I don't normally take passengers. Melvin was no trouble, but in future, a man of your girth should really reserve 2 seats.
It really wasn't as bad as I was expecting for a woman flyer. You didn't have to do a hill start or parallel park, but you managed not to crash into anything, and I never caught you doing your makeup in the rearview mirror.
Could you two possibly cut out the sexual chemistry and love-hate tension thing long enough to stop the maniac with the missiles?
So, been involved in any exciting adventures lately?
I had a gig providing security to an abortion clinic, which was getting bomb threats.
That's your best gig? Private security? That's what happens to people who fail the police exam.
Hey, I did not fail the police exam. I never took that exam. Why would I? It's because of women haters like you who are intimidated by females in positions of power that women become victims of discrimination.
My boy Wonder and I aren't intimidated by women, are we, old friend?
Don't drag me into your petty arguments.
Perfect case in point. Lots of superheroes have a boy wonder, but did you ever hear of them having a girl wonder?
No, and you want to know why? The minute you take on a girl wonder, she's on the crime phone to all her friends. Brittany, you'll so never believe it. I'm like totally the new assistant to the Caped Wonder. I know, right? No, because he's really Ralph Reynolds, that rich industrialist, so he's like totally trustworthy. We're raiding the lair of his arch nemesis, Dr. Thunderpants, in the morning, but I'm like totally looking forward to it because he's really, really dreamy, and he's like such a bad boy, but only because he hasn't found the right woman yet.
Well, that was a
I should get going.
hard thing to swallow. Let's talk to Mel. Okay.
This is the main building here. You can see from the bell tower that this building is where the marriage ceremonies took place.
Oh, that figures. All those lousy immigrants were marrying U.S. citizens just to avoid being deported.
I was just thinking about all the men who were so desperate and repulsive that the only women that would look twice at them were doing so to avoid deportation. It's the historical equivalent of those Russian dating sites.
Actually, I was thinking about the modern fashion of renting the grounds to use as a venue for your wedding and reception. I gather it's very popular among rich Republicans.
What makes you say that?
It makes for a hell of a honeymoon. Do you know any Republicans who don't get a hard-on at the thought of thousands of immigrants being locked up in a building?
Why do you hang out with this Neanderthal?
He, hasn't always been this way.
It's a pretty small building for such an important place.
Small? I thought it was pretty big.
Dude, there are 12 million immigrants in America today. You couldn't possibly imprison them all here.
I imagine Native Americans might view that as a conservative estimate.
Yeah, they'd probably say closer to 300 million.
My God. I've never looked at it like that before.
That's food for thought, isn't it?
It certainly is. I need to buy more guns. It's a pretty small...
Okay. Can I use the tower?
You don't think?
No, mate, I don't.
It is shaped like a missile, though.
If you're seriously suggesting that the Cold War warrior travelled back in time over 100 years and persuaded the architect to incorporate a WMD in the structure of his building, he possesses a degree of forward thinking and logistical support we can't hope to match.
I'm just saying we should keep an open mind.
A lesson in being open-minded from the guy who thinks that global warming was a liberal conspiracy to get Al Gore an Oscar.
Listen, if you're too open-minded, your brain will fall out.
Only if it fits through your ear canal.
He must be experiencing middle age early. That's when broadness of the mind and narrowness of the hips exchange places.
Let's get inside the main building.
How do we even know where he is? He could be in any of the buildings on the island.
In the video he broadcast, he was standing inside a museum. This is where the museum is, right?
I've never been here before, but I think so.
Be careful of the door. He's probably rigged it up to a live current or put traces of nerve agent on the door handle or some other kind of devious trap to keep us out.
No, but he's locked it.
Okay, well, we have a screwdriver. That doesn't work. Again, super strength, like, that seems to be quite lacking here. Well, what if I just use it again?
I wonder if the door is still locked.
I think you need to view this door in the same way that you view sex after a night of heavy drinking.
What do you mean?
No matter how much you bang away at it, you're not getting anywhere.
What if I click here?
What?
Nope.
You don't.
If
I'm...
only if it...
Hey, wait a minute.
Do you suppose there's any kind of rule which determines whether manhole covers are round and when they're square?
Yeah, when the manhole's square, they use a square cover. It's just better in the long run.
That's just a dad joke.
There's nothing else for it. I'm gonna have to go down there.
Can't we look around a bit more first before we go wading through sewage? There might be a more accessible way to get into the building.
Not we, old friend. I'm going in alone. We don't have time to keep looking. Every second we waste gives that pinko more time to launch his deadly strike.
Wasting time. On the flight over, you had me divert via Brooklyn so you could buy an apricot Danish.
Oh look, actual super strength.
Well, if you're going in, take this headset with you. At least we'll be able to communicate with you while you're down there.
Yeah, all right, Mom. far do you think this ladder goes down? Whoa!
Not far enough.
Aw, man! I'm covered in...
Human waste?
It's just like that time you tried to unblock the toilet with a pressure washer.
I wasn't having any luck with one of your wire coat hangers.
You pinched one of my coat hangers.
Relax, dude. I put it back when I was finished with it. You don't think that commie convict would have booby-trapped the sewers, do you? Ah! Oh!
Possibly.
I think this gate is electrified. How can I be certain?
If you have a screwdriver with a plastic handle, you could touch it with that, but...
I have a screwdriver.
Does it have a plastic handle?
No, I'm going to go radio silent for a little bit.
Why?
I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like all of the hardships I endure in life are just being set up for the voyeuristic pleasure of others. Like that film.
The Truman Show?
Being John Malkovich?
No, Porky's.
Tell me, Melvin, have you ever considered developing a partnership with a peer whose inclinations more closely match your own?
Oh sure, I even signed up for an account at lickmybootsyouppatheticworm.com, but I guess they were looking for someone a bit less wormy. You were talking about working for a superhero with liberal views, weren't you?
I was, but I'll have to remember to wear my new boots next time we work together.
Hot, hot, hot!
You're telling me, mate. I think my glasses have steamed up.
What are you blathering about? That communist crackpot has set up fire pits down here! I'm burning alive!
Mate, you can't have forgotten what they told us at school. Stop, drop and roll.
Dude, if you could see what's down here, you'd rather toast like a marshmallow than roll around with it.
I told you it was worth paying extra for flame retardant spandex.
I refuse to wear anything that says retard on it.
Must be down to a bad experience in junior school. Or several.
Right. I'm in. I just need to get through the... Oh, son of a bitch!
Breathe in next time, dear.
Yo, Mel, over here.
Eh? Oh look, he's at the door.
Man, that was actually really funny.
Right. I've done the preparatory work for you, so this bit should be easy. Go down the manhole. Be careful to note when the ladder stops. Then follow the left tunnel almost to the end and turn right. There's a circular saw blade next to the end of the tunnel. Follow the blood trail down that tunnel until you reach a gate in the wall right ahead of you. You'll know it's the right gate if there's feces next to it.
It's a sewer?
Fresh feces. I was frightened, okay? Step over the fire pits, following the smell of scorched body hair as the tunnel winds around on itself. Then climb up the ladder with the open manhole on top of it.
Or you could just undo the deadbolt there and let us through the door.
Sure, if you want to take the wussy way out. I mean, I guess Mel's not really a superhero, so he could come through the door. But I expected more from the paragon of liberal superheroism.
No, I'll just come through the door with Melvin, thanks.
You're not afraid it might affect your reputation as a feminist if you let a man do all the heavy lifting?
No one would ever know.
They would if I told them.
To be honest with you, Purple Patriot, I'm not confident enough in your prospects of leaving this island alive to be concerned about what you'll tell people when we leave.
The Cold War warrior won't kill me, Tipper. I'm more than a match for his might.
I wasn't thinking of him.
Oh man, there's places to go. How long have we been going for, guys? We might actually get 3 sessions out of this.
There's something about that waxwork of the old man that keeps drawing my eye. I'm just not sure what.
Thanks, Mel. We've been going for 2 hours, guys. I think I might call it. I mean, there's probably only like half an hour left of the game, but I don't really want to keep... I'm kind of tired. It's late for me. So, we're going to call it here. I think the end of the next one, not that anybody's really watching this, but I think I'm just going to put my 2 cents into what I think could be amazing if they continued this series, which I doubt.
There's something about...
Shut up. So, we're going to hit save. And, yeah. I guess we'll see you guys probably tomorrow for the end of the Supreme League of Patriots. Bye.